Hello traders, this is day number 42 of Small Cap Market Open Trading. I'm testing a small cap trading plan. If you want to know more about that, if you watch any of the first 40 videos in this playlist, in this series, I explain exactly what that is right at the open of all of those videos. So let's look at the screener and I'll show you how I pick these stocks, or actually I do that in all those 40 videos, so you could check that out if you want to see those details where I explain that. But look at the screener today. It was kind of just the same as yesterday. There's very little going on. LGVN was the only one that looked like it might trigger an entry, and I'll show you that on the video. So let's take a look at the video here, and you're going to see me go through the stocks that do pop up on the screener, and then there's only a few, and there's some that I reject because they don't meet my daily chart criteria, like GRAB, and all of that criteria is written in very specific language in my trading plan, so it makes it very easy for me to reject stocks. So I'm not even watching them to see if I could take an entry because they don't meet certain chart criteria, just like ENFA, that's another one. So it makes it very easy. Instead of watching a bunch of stocks and hoping that there's some type of pattern that emerges, I have a bunch of criteria that must be met, and then that narrows down the stocks, and then I can look for my pattern that I want to trade. So LGVN, that's what we're waiting on right now, is for our setup. You can see we've got our first yellow line. That's the break of the previous high, and this is the first high of day, and this white line is just thrown out there at the moment just in space. I'm just reminding myself that I need to see a second high of day established before I could take a trade. So now as we kind of scroll through the video, now my trading plan says that I'm only allowed to trade between 9:30 and 10:30 Eastern time, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but that's kind of the sweet spot for me that has worked out really well. One of the issues is if I don't take any trades before 10:30 because there's no setups and I just hang around for another hour or two, then I'm more likely to get frustrated and break my plan and take a weaker setup. And if those trades work out, okay, then maybe you feel okay about it. But when those trades fail, you feel really bad because now not only have you wasted 2 or 3 hours, but you took a weak setup and it failed. So I'd rather just give myself that hour, and that's the time when there's the most volatility and action in the market anyway. So it makes sense. If there's nothing that's setting up in that first hour, then it's probably not a good day to trade, because I would say 95% of the time there are trades to be taken, a lot of times multiple trades to be taken in that first hour. So when there's not, it's probably a sign to just sit back anyway. So I am looking for trades on this day, and I'll show you what happened. I just pulled up my spreadsheet there for a second. I'm going to go over that stuff on Sunday. But let's take a look now here at LGVN. Notice the time, it's 10:23, so it's getting close to my cutoff, which is 10:30. So no matter what I see on the chart, if 10:30 pops up and I haven't been triggered to take an entry, I cannot take a trade. So that kind of came into play today. That rarely happens where I'm really close to my cutoff and I get triggered to take an entry. But today was one of those days where it was cutting it really close. And you can see I did throw out a price alert, which I talked about price alerts in my video yesterday. If you want to know more about price alerts, how to set them, how to delete them, which is really important because you could be triggered into FOMO trading later. Again, I go into all of that stuff in yesterday's video. That's really important to understand. But now look, it's almost 10:29, and it's looking like this thing is getting close to triggering. And then you can see my price alert gets hit. Let me just show you that in real time. Let's back it up here. Right now this thing's at like 25.11, but you're going to see it pop like crazy here in just a moment. So there it goes. Now it's triggered my price alert, and it's just 10:29. So technically at this point I could still take a trade, but a lot has to happen before I could take a trade on the chart. This new high needs to be established, and a pullback must happen, and a 1 minute candle must make a new high. So that pretty much can't happen at this point. Now it's 10:30. So now, I'm just putting my line out, and then you'll see me mark a point of weakness. But then as soon as I realize, hey, wait a minute, it's 10:30, it's past my time, I don't even attempt to take a trade, but I do let the video roll for a little bit just to see what happened on this, which is generally not a good idea. If you set a cutoff time, just shut down the platform, because you don't want to be FOMO'd into taking a trade. Like, let's say this thing reversed and you say, well, it's 10:31, let me take a trade. The problem with that is, if that trade fails and you took the trade after your cutoff period, you're going to feel really bad, and that messes with your trader psychology. You've broken your plan. It's just not a good thing to do. So just decide a time where you feel that, okay, this is the highest probability time period of me making a good trade. And once that time has passed, just shut down the platform. So here it is at 10:32. I'm just watching to see. I already locked my platform, so I can't take an entry. There's no way I could be FOMO'd in. I'd have to unlock the platform in order to take a trade. So, but it's best just to shut it down, and that way you don't run the risk of getting tricked into a trade. So there we go. We see it break down through that point of weakness, which to me makes a lot of sense to have that line there, because you could see kind of one ABCD pattern here. Here's point A, here's point B, and then here's the pullback to point C. And it found support here and drove the price back up to make that new high of day. And then now it's pulling back to that previous area of support, but it's breaking down below it. So that is a sign of weakness to me. So if this was before 10:30, I would have stopped trading, even though I didn't take any trades yet, but I would have stopped looking for trades today. So that was it for today. It's kind of more of the same of yesterday. Sorry, there's no trades, but I'm not going to force a trade just to take a trade. That's something that you'll learn the longer that you are in the markets, is it just doesn't pay. If you have a trading plan, I mean, if you don't have a trading plan, you're just gambling. And I mean, I guess, in the beginning, none of us have a trading plan. So that, that may be okay for a little while, but that's something you really need to work on as soon as possible. Even if you don't know if it's a good plan or not, it's really important to just get in the habit of starting to develop a plan and learning how to follow the plan, and then tracking those results. And then after 100 trades, you can see whether or not the plan is working. And it really does take 100 trades to find out whether the plan is working. This plan was unprofitable in the beginning after maybe about 20 trades, and now it is profitable, and I think we're about 60 trades into it. So it takes a long time, and I haven't changed anything in this plan that entire time, and I haven't changed the way I've traded it either. So it really does take a long time for you to know whether or not your plan is going to be profitable, so you need to give it time. And if you feel like you can't, if you're too worried about the money you're losing in the meantime, then you're just trading with too much money. I'm testing this plan by trading one single share, so I don't worry about the money that I'm losing on losing trades. It doesn't bother me at all. Now, once we have proven the plan profitable after 100 trades, it won't bother me to lose money on the occasion that I do lose money, even when I'm trading full position size, because I've already proven the plan. So anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that on the video I'm going to release on Sunday, where I go over the results of this plan so far. So check that out. Let me know if this video was helpful to you. If it was, hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. The main message that I want to get across in all of my trading videos is that you need to have a plan going into every single trade. You got to stick to that plan. And then once you've taken that trade and the trade is over, make sure you track the trade. What happened during the trade? Not just whether you made money or not, but did you trade it according to plan? That's number one. Otherwise, it's going to mess up your data. If you did trade it according to plan, what were the results? Did it do what you thought it was going to do, or did it stop you out? And if it stopped you out, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your plan. You have to take a number of trades, 100 trades, before you're going to know whether or not in the end you're going to be profitable. So again, we'll talk more about that stuff on Sunday. As always, go into every single trade with a plan. Stick to that plan no matter what. Always take your stop losses, honor your profit targets, and in the long run, you should be green. Take care.